to take your seat. Time to take your seat.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. But that's not my thing. That's Lewis's. So we're going to turn that off and let's have something else. Where is it? Here we go.
If anybody knows why he's called Mr.Wheels, you know why it's so funny.
Right, anyway. Yeah, so tonight, the late night show, I'm joined by Mr. Grassroots, Jack. How are you, Jack?
I'm good, mate. It's nice to be back on a live video, to be honest. I've had a little bit of a sabbatical. I've only popped in on a couple of here and there's, but yeah, it's nice to be back.
It's great to see you, mate. So tonight, obviously, Lewis isn't doing the late night show, so I'm filling in his shoes. I did let him know, though, that they were too big, couldn't wear them, so I've just given them back to him and leave him alone. Basically, tonight we're going to start with the Brighton and Liverpool game. A lot of people expected Liverpool to, I think, smash Brighton this weekend, didn't they, for that game? But the main point of that game, the main part that stood out, Klopp's rant to the broadcasters. Did you see that, Jack?
I was working because I'm working from home, but I managed to have a bit of it when I went on break. I listened to it.
Oh, I watched it earlier and it was absolutely mental. I couldn't believe it. I was fair play to him though for the bottle to stand the ground. You know what I mean? Have the backbone to do it. He's saying what's on everybody's minds at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that Ian Holloway used to do when he was in the Premier League with Blackpool. I respect it 100%. I love it. I think it's brilliant when a manager turns around and tells the journalist pretty much, you only want me for a story, so I'm not going to give you it.
It is very true, though, what he said, though, isn't it? Where he said they only want him to write the headlines for him, for the questions that they asked.
Yeah, it is true. I feel as if every time, not just only Klopp, like Frank, any manager really, even down to like League Two football, any interview afterwards, especially when it comes to certain questions, they're fishing for a story to be printed. Yeah. So,
did you see his face though when he spoke back to him? When the reporter actually questioned him as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. Guys, if you've seen it, let us know what you thought about that. I think he's got a very good point though with what he's saying. The broadcasters, obviously, the 12:30 kickoffs. But here's the thing, though. Haven't they been going on for a long while?
So 12:30 kickoffs, and from my knowledge, have been, technically speaking, I would say since the start of the Premier League. I think when football started getting more televised, I think they came in. I might be wrong. Somebody that's here might know more than me. But in my opinion, they came in then. They've been around for a very long time. He's moaning about that. But you've kind of got to think, Liverpool are moaning about that. But think about Spurs a couple of weeks ago. They were away, a 3,000 round mile trip, and then they played on the Saturday when really should have played on the Sunday. Whereas this week as well, they've played this week and they're playing on the Sunday. But again, that's still only a 3-day turnaround. And Spurs are travelling further than what Liverpool are travelling.
Yeah, it is true what you say, but I mean, I agree to it. I agree with it to a certain degree on the basis of that there's a certain period of time where as athletes they are playing a lot of games now. Since COVID. Before it was obviously every weekend. There wasn't really playing Fridays and Monday. Do you know what I mean? It was Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, I think it's been coming in for the last few seasons where teams play Wednesday, Saturday, or Thursday, Saturday. But the matter of the fact is, I can understand where the professional, like the manager's coming from. Oh, they're not having time. But like people are putting, well, give them a day off the training then. Don't make them travel all that way, come home, and then do a full day's training the day after. It's give them a day of rest. At the end of the day, don't get me wrong, you don't see marathon runners being told they have to run another marathon 3 days after they've run one. Tennis players, they play games, but their games are normally 3 days apart, and they're probably the ones that probably would deserve an extra day. Rugby do the same. Rugby, they can play in the Heineken Cup on a Tuesday, and they can play in the league on a Thursday. So I don't see why it would be any different for football. And it's not me having a pop at Klopp or Liverpool. It's me saying the other elite sports have to do it when it comes to like rugby and your tennis. And to be honest, youth football, if you look at non-league football, sometimes they can play on a Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. They'll have a county cup game on a Tuesday evening, or even non-league. So they'll have a game
Monday,
on a Saturday,
Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, they'll have a game on a Saturday, game on a Monday, game on a Thursday, a game on a Saturday. And that's what's going to happen with non-league because of this stop of play. That's going to happen.
But yeah, no, totally agree with that. We've got some comments coming in. Ryan says the TV rights have a lot to do with the fixtures lists. Agreed, but obviously at the same time, I agreed with what the broadcaster said when he says the FA put the fixtures out, and obviously the teams have to agree those fixtures. They agree those at the beginning of the season. Don't know when things go their way. 2 goals are counted, but like Klopp said, he agreed with the goals. So
I think the way on the interview, the way he's done it is the way that when Jose Mourinho was manager of Chelsea, when Poch was manager of Spurs, when Fergie was you've got to look at Ian Holloway, Sam Allardyce, who else? Stuart Pearce has done it in the past. When they've spoke up against the FA, they end up with a hefty fine. Klopp's done it today, where he said he's not said anything that he can be fined for. He's done it in a clever way. So for me, Klopp has done it in a way that other managers haven't managed to.
He's not disputed anything the FA have said because he's agreed with the referees. Therefore, he can't
be fined. But he's done it in a way where it's still kind of he's brought it up because it needed to be brought
exactly.
up.
Completely. So obviously other things in that game. Now obviously we've spoke about the rant to the broadcasters. But don't just before I move on from that, don't you think he is starting to show a little bit more rage now? Do you reckon that's down to the injuries that he's getting? Obviously, we saw the broadcaster ask him about was Milner's injury a hamstring, and he turned around and goes, "Yeah, congratulations." That's another thing that I'm questioning. Was that a congratulations to him for having a new injury, or congratulations to BT for forcing the players to play so many games that they're becoming injured?
But the thing is, right, they're saying about these games being forced around because of the fixture list to get it on TV. But if it wasn't on TV, the fans would kick off. And if it's not on TV,
catch-22.
It's a catch-22. And who pays the wages? Who pays BT and Sky?
Yeah. Without the fans.
Who pays wages? Because the managers don't pay BT and Sky the wages. People subscribing to their channel pays the wages.
Yeah. It's like that old saying comes to mind. Football's nothing without the fans. And we're seeing that, isn't it?
I think we've gone away from it. I'm sorry, I didn't answer the question. Klopp is showing more rage this year. 1, because of that. And 2, because really, the young lads that he's brought in are good players. But are they going to be the same kind of standard as players he's lost? No. You look at teams like, do you know what? I'd say Spurs. I'd definitely say Spurs. I'd say Everton. I'd probably say us, really, as well, Chelsea. Leicester to a point. Leeds to a point. when some of our key players get injured, we've got enough talent, like the depth of the squad, to fill the gaps. And obviously, don't get me wrong, he's had like 8 injuries to 8 starting 11s. But if them young lads weren't good enough to be involved in the first team in the first place, then why are they in the first team in the first place? If they're not good enough to play, then why?
It's very good, yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. It's a very good point.
I've got there's a special guest here. We don't know who it is.
He's gone.
He's gone. But yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think Klopp's now raging because he's realised. Because in Germany, no offence, Klopp is a great manager and he's done great things for Liverpool, and they're missing players. I understand that, but he never had this problem in Germany because they have their winter break. They have spaces between games. The FA over there, the German Football Association, is understanding. The Premier League is the most watched and the most supported league in the world. People from Spain, Germany, Israel, Kazakhstan watch the Premier League. So they have to get it. If there's no fans in the grounds, they have to get it on TV. So I can understand it completely, but then on the other hand, you've kind of got to go, well, end of the day, Klopp, it's been happening for years. Managers have not been happy about it, but they haven't. The way he went about it today was right because he didn't slag off the FA, but that reporter is doing his job.
100%. Yeah, you don't shoot the messenger.
That reporter hasn't gone, oh, I'm going to ask him this question. He's been told by his producer, ask him this in his ear, ask him this question quick because he's getting wound up. This makes good TV. Get wound. And that little clip there is going to go on either the BT website or YouTube, whatever, and get millions of hits and people making gifs and stuff of it.
That's where I've seen it on YouTube, and I sent it to my mates in the group chat, and we were all talking about it. Do you know what I mean? It's a big talking point. I think it does need to be spoken about a lot more at the minute.
Yeah, I just feel they're elite athletes.
Exactly, but there's a breaking point for everybody.
Yeah, I know, but rugby's more of a physical sport, in my opinion, and them lads get up every time and carry on. So is it because they're being trained in a way that they can't survive playing 3 games a week? Because if they were non-league players, when they were coming through the ranks, they definitely were playing 3-4 games a week in the academy. So why can't they do it now when they're at the top of their flight?
Different sports obviously has different effects on different parts of the body as well, though, doesn't it? So obviously you'll be doing different parts in that sport. I know you'll be taking more of an impact, but you won't be sprinting. You won't be covering more of a distance. You know what I mean on the pitch. You might do. I don't know. I don't really follow rugby as much as I do football, but in a basketball. In a basketball sense, though,
I've played rugby as well as football, and rugby is a lot harder training sessions, and the game itself is harder because it's stop, start, stop, start. Whereas in football, it could be end to end, so you can just keep moving, and that carries you through. In rugby, you run, you're stopped. There's a penalty or a scrum or
takes it out of you. More energy loss.
Yeah, stop, start. I think, but I don't know. That was
one of
opinion.
That was one of my favourite lessons in PE when I was in school. I remember being out my wheelchair on the field and running into one of the little bags. That was one of my highlights. But moving on. Morpay missed penalty. Was it a penalty? I didn't see it. I didn't see it personally.
Soft, yes.
But then again, most of them are nowadays, aren't they? I've not seen one penalty this year that's been a definite penalty. You know, like an old school definite penalty.
To be honest, right, I've seen things that are penalties not given this year because the player has made a big issue out of it.
Yeah. To be fair,
the first penalty.
There is a lot of that.
The first penalty was a penalty. The second penalty, whether Liverpool fans like it or not, he kicked the player's foot. The way the player went down was dramatic, but if that was against Mo Salah or Mane, they would have said that's a penalty. As a football fan, it's not just because I have got no vendetta against Liverpool at all. Don't get me wrong, don't want them to win 2 leagues because that means they can do what we can do. But if that's on one of their players, they're screaming for a penalty. And it is a penalty. The player's moved the ball. He's come through. He's kicked. Don't get me wrong. He kicked the bottom of his foot, and the players milked it. But in any way, shape, or form, that is a penalty. He's made contact with a player, not the ball, inside the penalty box. Outside the penalty box, that would have been given as a free kick and a yellow card.
Yeah.
Because he didn't touch the ball. Inside the penalty box, it's been given as penalty. Simple as that. Liverpool know this. Liverpool know this more than anybody. They do get a lot of VAR decisions against them, but they also get a lot of them for them. But the ones against them, they moan about them. But the same decisions that go against them go in their favour in a different game.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's like every team, though. It falls guilty into that one. But before we move on from Morpay, though, there's a lot of controversy going on the internet at the moment. Because when he got injured, some are saying that he was faking it. Was he actually injured? But then, from his reaction when he came off the pitch,
he was fucking injured. Like, he wasn't fucking injured. He's an absolute melt. He missed a penalty to put his team. Bear in mind, by the way, if anybody doesn't know this, Brighton and Hove Albion, in any time in any of their football league history, whatever league they've been in, whether it's been in the top division, Championship League 1, League 2, wherever in the National League, wherever they've been, right? They have never beaten a reigning champion. Never. To this day, never beaten a reigning champion. Every reigning champion they've ever faced, they've lost to. Right?
There you go, for all those people that love that stats out there.
So they've drew today. But Morpay is a great striker. I love him. I love his attitude. He reminds me of a bit of a mixture between Lukaku and a bit of, what's his name, Balotelli. So he's got the ability like Lukaku, but he's got the attitude of Balotelli.
Yeah, the holding and
He thinks he's a lot big. Like, he thinks he's a lot more big time than what he is. He left that pitch because he missed a fucking penalty, and the gaffer said to him, "What the fuck do you think you're playing at?" Because even if he went the same way Alisson dived, he would have still scored that penalty. Because Alisson was he was undecided. When he dived, he only dived halfway to the wrong direction. So all he had to do was get it on target, any part of the goal, and he didn't do it. And if he wants to be regarded as this really good striker, you don't miss opportunities like that against one of the world's, arguably one of the world's best goalkeepers. He left that pitch because he's a fucking shithouse. He is a shithouse.
Well, there's even more controversy around that. When he came off, he threw his the armband on the floor. You know, the one in respect to Maradona. Don't know whether he realises what he's done, whether it was a mistake. He was just angry, you know, for being injured or being taken off, or maybe missing his penalty. But yeah, I know there's a lot of fans gunning for him at the moment.
All I'm going to say is he probably doesn't want to go to anywhere near like America at the minute.
Yeah, especially. We'll go into that a little bit later. We'll cover the rest of the Premier League games. Then we'll talk about that actually. Man City against Burnley, 5-0.
Right. Do you know what? I've got a thing to say about this. I said when we were talking about Messi and Ronaldo, right? We were having that chat about Messi and Ronaldo, and I was in there, and they said, "Can we see anybody at the moment that's lit up, that is shining in a minute?" And everybody's like, "Oh, your Lewandowski's, oh, your Greenwoods, your I don't know, Mane, Salah." No, I called this guy when Man City signed him. This guy is fucking unreal. He's young. He is talented. He can do it on the international side and he can do it on the league side. Ferran Torres I am telling you now, is going to be one of the world's greatest players. He's a young player with a lot of talent. And to be honest, they're playing Burnley, but you can only beat what's in front of you. Ferran Torres.
I don't know.
Mara's got an hat-trick. Great. But
you can't take it away from Burnley, though. They're a happy place. That Turf Moor.
Happy place.
Yeah,
happy place.
Maybe not tonight, but...
When the fuck has anybody been happy stood in a Turf Moor? I've been to that ground. It's not...
Yeah, wooden seats. Not a very good view either. The only good view is the actual stand opposite.
Yeah. Martin's had discussion with Andy about the pen. We both agreed that you need to take those chances when you're struggling, especially against top teams. Yeah,
100%. 100%. That's with every single shot. You got to take every single chance. You know, that could be the winning one. It's like in basketball.
2 goals disallowed. Both of them goals were offside because you've been done by an armpit before.
Yeah. You're
now getting done for toes and stuff like that. So they were both offside. That's not an argument. That's not an argument. If it was an armpit again, I would be like, right, that's bang out of order. But you can score with your toe. You can score with your toe. So I agree with the opposite thing.
Again, I didn't see that. No, I've not. I didn't see any of it. I've seen the obviously stuff. Shoot man on Facebook, little screenshots and memes and that. But moving on. But yeah, like you were saying, Torres, what a player. But
oh mate,
as much as it hates me to say it,
I'm a fanboy. I love him.
Well, this next one's going to pain me, obviously, to say this, but obviously Mahrez hat-trick. Don't like him for obviously how he left Leicester, but I'm not going to be biased. He's a quality player. It's just his ego that lets him down. But he's gone there. He's showing obviously what he's doing, what he's capable of at Man City.
But the thing is he a starter for Man City?
He could be. If he gets his head in the game. I mean, this is the thing with Mahrez. The only thing that lets him down is his attitude. And it always has been the problem. His fans don't help. Do you know what I mean?
But the problem is with that, Danny, the question, I'm not asking if he could be, if he's good enough to be. Is he a starter for Man City?
For Man City, no.
No. He gets brought in when somebody's tired or injured or when it's not working for him.
Although I don't know, when he started against Leicester and scored a screamer.
But he doesn't pass.
No, that's true. He's greedy.
He doesn't pass.
He's greedy.
Ferran Torres, I have never seen a guy that plays out wide, pick a ball up central, and bring it wide as much as he does. We lost that. I know Joe Cole used to do it back in the day. I'm saying I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't know about anybody else. I know that. But Joe Cole used to come inside when he couldn't get the ball, pick the ball up and run it out wide. Ronaldinho was good at doing it as well. Ronaldinho used to do it all the time. Arjen Robben used to do it. Frank Ribery used to do it. If they're not getting the ball out wide, they're good enough of a player to come infield, pick the ball up and take it out wide for him. For me, Mahrez, is he good enough to start in the Man City team? No. Is he a great player? Yes. Would I like to see him at somebody else, like back at Leicester or Everton or, I don't know, probably Arsenal, something like that? Yes, because he's better than what they've got. But at the minute, he's not better than anything that Man City's got in either position. And they've sold
and that's
people.
Because his attitude lets him down. His total ego is just, he's got a big head. And as soon as he hears a compliment, and his fans don't help him. You see it in the Man City chats now, but we used to get it in the Leicester City chats constantly. If Mahrez went in the team, it was we're rubbish or we're shit. I'm forgetting we're on the late night show, and we're not. We're off to 9 o'clock.
Whatever the fucking want.
Whatever we fucking want. But
fuck you absolute shithouse, Morpay. And Mahrez, you're over fucking rated. You're overrated, you dickhead.
Foot Rio.
Somebody's put Mahrez swap for Grealish. Aston Villa are not letting go of Grealish because do you remember when Blackburn?
What a mistake that would be.
Do you know when Blackburn bought Shearer? They won the league because they built the team around him. I'm not saying Aston Villa are going to win the league, but Grealish is a player you build a team around.
There's a difference
with David Silva.
But there's a difference between those two players as well. The difference between those two players as well is Grealish is a leader. Mahrez has no chance, no way in hell could he lead a team. He's all I.
Mahrez and Sterling both left for money. I feel the same way about Sterling as Danny does about Mahrez. Pity neither will win the Champions League. Both massive egos. To be honest, I've got to admit, I hated Sterling because his ego was shit. Since he's been at Man City, he has become, he was a good player anyway, but he's become outstanding. But again, he's gone missing this season. He's gone
fuck you, Lewis.
Reece Peckham's put Maddison and Grealish in the middle for England. Do you know what, mate?
Yes.
I don't agree with that. Because
I do. Let's talk about it.
You know why? Sancho, right side. Grealish, left side. Mason and Maddison there. And then you play a three at the back with fucking either Phillips or Dyer playing centre-back. Because we've got to go three at the back. We've got too many really good creative midfield players. We've got to use that. If we can get a perfect three at that back, three centre-backs that are really fucking good at their jobs, we don't have to worry about anything else. Mason
Mate,
Mount,
I'm not gonna lie.
Mason Mount, Declan Rice, Maddison and Grealish, them four, people think they play in the same position. They don't. They don't. The Maddison and Grealish argument is Grealish is better and does more out wide. Foden is
Covers more ground.
Foden is better than Maddison. I'm not going to lie, but is Foden going to? I think the problem we've got is with the golden generation. We had 3 centre mids. One of them is Lampard, one of them is Gerrard, and the other one, it doesn't really matter. But with this lot of crop coming through, we've got 6 quality, world-class, talented.
Play them in a 4-4-2, Maddison and Grealish next to each other, mate. I'm telling you now, that's going to work wonders. I do it on my FIFA team. It works brilliantly.
I know what you're saying, but can we just appreciate this right now? So in this generation, the last golden generation, we had 3 or 4 really good, either like Cam, CDM, whatever, Gerrard, Lampard. This generation, you've got Grealish, you've got Maddison, you've got Mason Mount, you've got Phil Foden, Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips. Unless you play with 6 in midfield.
And I think we need to come to the realization that not all of them are going to make it.
But that's the frustrating thing. Somebody's going to miss out. Calvin Phillips.
Look at Damari Gray for Leicester. He was supposed to be a wonder boy. I think he's in the England under 23s. You know, he's not performing in the Premier League, and he's not going to get that chance. Do you know what I mean? There's a couple of players.
Martin's just said Villa will sell when the big offers arrive. Martin,
I don't
know. Inside information for you.
I don't know.
Chelsea are going to offer Villa 65 million, and they put the feelers out. They had a little side conversation, and Villa turned around point blank and went, "No."
It's loyalty, mate.
Villa.
He's going to be a Gerrard.
Not so much loyalty. I think Grealish loves the club. The club loves Grealish, and the manager at Villa has made sure that Grealish knows he is a great player and he is a leader, but he's the manager. And I think that's why Grealish signed that new contract, because he turned around and went, "You can go to all these big fucking clubs if you want, but no. Like at the end of the day, they're going to play you because of your name and what you're supposed to be. Stay with us, help us build something magical." And that's literally why he signed that new contract. Chatting absolute rubble. You're going to make me comment in a minute, for fuck's sake. Lewis, mate, we're not chatting rubble. We even spoke about your boy Phillips. We're going to speak about him a bit later on, I think. Danny's in charge.
That's the next game. That's the next game, actually. Everton Leeds.
I managed to watch this whole game.
I'll tell you what, Lewis, do you want to come on and talk about that one, actually? Rafinha, 25-yarder. Again, I didn't see this game.
Mate, it wasn't like Rafinha's goal was great. The performance by Calvin Phillips, attacking and defending.
I've written that down as well, actually.
And playing CDM and playing Cam and going feeding the ball out and making the challenges. The guy, I slagged him off to Lewis once, and I said, "Oh, he wasn't that impressive." And Lewis went, "Yeah, but you've got to remember it's his first time playing for England." It's like that. I was like, he didn't impress me. Watching that game today, completely different player.
Yeah,
and I can see why Lewis says he is going to be great.
He's got his passion and work ethic, which a lot of players lack these days. You know what I mean?
You don't get that from English CDMs. English CDMs are not known for work.
We ain't seen that since Scholesy.
Not really, no. Henderson and Milner, but they've played all over the fucking park, so they don't really count. Whereas Cam Phillips has played in a position and he plays it well. Scholesy had a position and he played it well.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that I said at the start of the season, we're doing the predictions, if you remember, before the season started, when we knew it was coming back. I said Leeds are going to surprise everyone, and I backed Lewis up, and I said they're going to surprise. It would not surprise me when it comes to March time if Leeds are sat there in Europa League positions. It really wouldn't.
It's still so early to tell, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
But the football they're playing, mate, they've gone against Everton, who
this is the thing. Everyone's cancelling them out. So's every game. Do you know what I mean? Every weekend. I mean, I said at the beginning, as soon as I seen them play against Liverpool, I said, no, they're going to compete for top 6 easily. That's what I said. I've got a friend round here who's also a Leeds fan, and I told him the same. If you keep playing like that all season, mate, you're going to be challenging them for it. There's no reason why they can't. Yeah, exactly. It's so tight at the minute, you can't call it. And I reckon if they keep doing what they're doing, 100% they're up there.
They lost to you guys, But again, certain decisions the referee made and VAR made changed that game. Leicester out. Don't get me wrong. Leicester did play really well, but you got to remember turning points in games. Certain free kicks being given, VAR decisions going a certain way. This, that, the other, right? So everybody's just got to get on with it. I'm a Chelsea fan, right? If a VAR decision went against us last year,
you're not a Chelsea fan, are you?
I just went. Oh well, because fans have got to get used to it. It works, right? Sometimes it doesn't work. But today, the Liverpool decisions were right against them. It was bloody right. They were both offside for both of the disallowed goals. One of the disallowed goals. And the penalty was a penalty. Fat blank. That's it. If that happened against Chelsea, I'd be upset about it. And I'd think it's soft. But VAR, if we take VAR out of football now, you're going to get 2 more years, well, about a year into next season. After next season, bring VAR back. That's ridiculous.
I don't even think it'd get that far, mate. I don't think it'd get that far. I think we'd struggle to make it.
I think we're getting to game week 3 and everybody will be like, bring VAR back. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You've been screaming for VAR for years and there's going to be decisions. It's a human error. The machine isn't making the decision.
How long did it take to get the video ref out on the rugby? Do you know they've changed that many times? You know what I mean?
But the video ref on the rugby and the cricket works fine. The problem is
but that was trial and error at the beginning, though. Do you know what I mean?
It's the umpires and the referees in rugby are trained properly, and they're all told this is the rule. There's no interpretation. That is the rule. In football, they're giving them options. They're saying, "Oh well, if he does this and he does that, and it's this, that, the other, and this arm's here and that arm's there, and his toenail and his armpit's offside. I know he can't score his armpit, but he's offside."
So Lewis says, obviously we'll talk about Calvin Phillips. He was out for those games, obviously the 4-1 defeats against Leicester and Crystal Palace. And as soon as he comes back, that's when they've found the mojo again.
To be honest, though, the Leicester game, Leicester deserved it, but there's some decisions went wrong.
Leicester's got a lot of talent. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Leicester fan.
The Palace game, there was wrong decisions, but the goals that Palace scored, you can't deny them. Like, this is the problem with Palace. Oh, right, I'm not even getting it. We'll have this on another chat because I've got a massive problem with Palace and the way they set up. I'm fucking shutting up. We'll go. Whatever. What's next?
Right. We're going to talk about the Rafinha 25-yarder. I didn't actually see it. Did you see it? Have you seen it? No. So you have seen it?
Mate, that goal makes him worth the money they paid for him. I swear to God. And the fact of, if that's what he's going to bring into that team, I'm saying top 8. Top 8. Easy.
See, I've got him in my ultimate team, so this is why I ask, innit? Because I thought he was a quality player before, innit? He's a quality player in real life, though. Obviously, we've just not seen that from him yet.
Yeah,
but maybe obviously that's the
I've got Rodrigo up front. I've got him. Who have I got in the middle? Thiago from Liverpool, and somebody else, and then I've got Adama Traore on one side, and. I'm not even gonna get into it about FIFA Ultimate Teams, mate, because obviously Lewis will wring my neck, mate, and he really will rip my legs off. Right, let's talk about obviously. Would it make a difference if he ripped them off?
Well, it's not like I need them, but you know, it would be nice to pick shoes out for every outfit. Do you know what I mean?
By the way, guys, that's a bit of banter that we have with Danny. Me and Danny have that.
Yeah, just for the record, guys. There's me legs. You know what I mean? They work. They're real. They're hairy as well. I showed Andy yesterday. He was such in shock, mate. I couldn't believe it.
I don't know if I prefer you on the late night show or Lewis.
No, you'll get tired of the legless jokes, mate. Right, rolling on.
Right. I'll calm down now.
Yeah, we need to get this bit serious actually anyway, because this is quite a serious topic. So the Maradona obviously unfortunately passed away the other day. Rest in peace. But the controversy going around at the moment, the big talk in the headlines is obviously the sickening selfies that were going around from the people looking after his corpse. Little note to anyone, obviously. Well, you just don't do that stuff. One, it's disrespectful. Two, he was a legend in the game, so obviously, why you're going to do that to a guy of that caliber, unreal. Especially knowing exactly what it would bring as well. I mean, two of them obviously they've all found out the hard way now, and they've only got themselves to blame. To be honest, that's in my opinion, really. I mean, over here, we were talking about it before, weren't we? Over here, if someone does that sort of shit, you get a battering. You get a good old pasting. It's a bangable offence, sort of thing. Over there, no.
You've got to see it right. Like, there's religion in the UK. My family were Catholic. We go to church, not all the time, but we go to church like at Easter, at Christmas, and stuff like that. So you've got to remember that football over there and life over there is the one day really they get to get dressed up and everybody's equal and go to one place is when they go to church. Church is a massive part of the culture of. Like, it's massive in the UK, don't get me wrong, but they're not as hardcore in the UK compared to like South America and North America. It is hardcore. It is super hardcore. All their players are super religious. You get it as well, not just in South America, in Egypt, in Turkey, like being Islamic and stuff. Like, you see all the players in the football. They pray before they come on. They nod their head. They always do their things. That's in football. But you've got to realise that in South America, if you disrespect somebody's religion, is worse than disrespecting their clothes or their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You disrespect their religion, they're gonna get angry.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with anybody losing their life. I really don't, and I don't ever think I do. But them guys were the same guys that were sat in the pub cheering him on. And now they're sat there dead because they did a stupid thing.
Yeah.
A dead man is a dead man. A dead woman or dead person is a dead person. Except for
it's total disrespect.
Except for like murderers and rapists and child abusers, whatever. A dead person deserves respect. The guy had problems. He had problems with drink and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were surrounded with the people he was surrounded with and with the title he got given and the way he was on the football field and the way he was.
We all make mistakes, don't we?
We all make mistakes.
End of the day.
At the end of the day, the guy has done more for football in his country, for homeless people, the favelas. Is it favela? Yeah, favelas or whatever they're called.
Favelas, yeah.
The favelas in Argentina. He has got some of the kids out of them and playing professional football all over the world.
Yeah.
He might have had his problem with drinks and drugs, but the guy, number one, always put his country first. Yeah. Always. And the guy was a great footballer. Anybody that tries to argue with that, yes, he had a hand in goal, but what about the other goal we did?
Yeah.
I was listening to Lineker the other day, and he was saying that goal, right, the hand in that game, the hand of God. He goes, there's no, I'm not even going to talk about it. He goes, but the other goal he scored, the pitch we were playing on had
loads of little bumps and stuff.
Had been relayed the day before in patches, not in rolls that we've got now.
Yeah.
They had patches, and they relayed the whole pitch in patches. So when you put your foot down on the pitch moved. Everything about the pitch like really moved. Maradona managing to do what he did with the ball in that game on a pitch that's moving, even these Lineker's words, was incredible. He was the first player that every single player turned around and went, oh, Pele's good, but Maradona.
It was like the ball was glued to his foot, wasn't it?
It was the fact that
magical.
Lineker was talking about the story when they played World 11 versus England or something like that, a charity game. And Maradona, in the middle of the game, is booted the ball up 50 yards, touch it down. But as it's come down, I heard about this. And he did it 7 times.
I thought it was more than that.
From what I can remember, it was 7. Maybe it might have been more. up like that.
Because they could only manage 3, couldn't they?
Yeah, and Lineker said he went to Barcelona the next day with the talent that was in that Barcelona team when Lineker was there, and he said we could only do 2, and we still had to move about 20 yards to get the ball.
Yeah, they
The
only
guy
managed
was a
3.
legend. What they've done is disrespectful, not only to a religion, but to a family, to the football family, and to be honest,
to life itself.
They don't deserve to die. I would never say anybody deserves to die unless there's a certain category. But they have brought that upon themselves. That is disrespectful. The guy is a living legend in your country, and you think it's hilarious.
Yeah, there must be a point in your brain where you're thinking, hold on a minute, is this a good idea? I'm sorry. Why is that idea even popping into people's brains, man?
Literally, I've got mates that are funeral directors, and they hate being around the dead bodies. They said, because when you look at that body, you look at it and you go, like, that's somebody's mum or dad or uncle or brother or sister. And now you're looking at them and they're not here anymore. And you're seeing them. And it might be the last time an actual pair of eyes sees that body.
Yeah.
They nod their head. Yeah, fair enough. That second goal in '86 was the greatest World Cup goal even to this day. Mate, honestly, it was unbelievable. And the fact that Gary Lineker, it was a good goal already. But I don't think you understand
Lewis's comment in it. So obviously, you know, when you talk about religions, about the people that nod their head, that's what he's. That second goal in '86 was the greatest World Cup ever.
It is.
Yeah.
And the fact that what makes it better? I have never heard Lineker talk about that goal because it's shadowed by that. And when I seen Lineker talking about it, and he explained that they had square bits of pitch that was relayed the whole pitch the day before, that makes that goal even better because I know what it's like to play. Like when you play on AstroTurf,
evening, Paul.
The rubber crumb, you mix. Just imagine, like on your wheels on a basketball court, right? And every square you went over moved a different direction. How hard would it be?
Mate, yeah, you don't need to tell me about rubber crumb, mate. I was sick of pulling little black bits out my shoes because I used to crawl and play football. You see?
Yeah. When you're in your wheelchair on a basketball court, you imagine every 4x4.
Oh no, I did it. Square. I did it at my mum's earlier. You know, on the little rugs.
Yeah.
Do you know how wheel goes over there and I'm turning, mate? Oh, that rug's gone.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine that. But back then, the football boots weren't as good as what they are now. Love your hat, Danny Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
I love how Paul keeps writing Paul because he knows his name doesn't show up in the comments.
It helps us out. Fair play for that.
Sorry, I'm passionate about Maradona. I think what they've done is bang out of order. The guy was a legend. He had his own problems. Everybody had his problems. George Best had his problems. Would you see anybody doing that with George Best's body? Would you fuck?
100%.
Would you fuck?
So yeah, now the FA Cup, and we're going to move on from that. The FA Cup, has it lost its magic? Is the beauty there anymore?
You asked me this question 3 years ago, I would have said yes. Yeah,
I'd have agreed. But now, I don't know, it's just...
It's building back. Do you know why? Because Premier League managers are taking it seriously from the first round they go in now. They're playing their strongest teams. And then sometimes, obviously, a different keeper or a youngster, so they need to play. But you see teams like Peterborough today. They were playing... Who did they play? They played... what's their name? I can't remember who Peterborough... They lost to them anyway.
I cover the Championship, mate.
League One. Is it Crawley Town?
Chorley. Chorley, yeah.
Chorley Town, right? Peterborough. So normally when this happens, when a league team plays a non-league team, they put out a weakened team. No, not Peterborough, because they'd watched Chorley and they've gone, they play good football, let's put a full-strength team out. And it still wasn't good enough. Yeah. I watched Kings Lynn earlier. And to be honest with you, Pompey scored 2 screamers.
I love watching the lower league teams in FA Cup. That's the magic of it, isn't it? But
the magic is, mate, we've just watched a team that we can walk to their football ground next Saturday if you wanted to, or you could go to their football ground and go and have a beer with the players.
Yeah.
They've just been on TV against league football.
Yeah.
Like the FA Cup, the magic of the FA Cup was.
These have got full-time jobs as well, haven't they? You know what I mean? It's
this is what I mean. Like the team I'm following down here, Falmouth Town. I'm live there, by the way. A bit of clout here.
Bit of a plug.
I'm going to be there for the FA Vars game next week. They won the last one. They beat a team that it's technically a division above them. They're now playing a team that they've beaten a team from their league before, 2 or 3 tiers above them in the football pyramid in the FA Vars. But their players, the Farmer Town players, do they get paid? I don't know. I think they do. They must do because they've got some really good players. But they've all got jobs. Every single one of them. And the best thing about the FA Cup was when people started falling out of love with the FA Cup was the season after, when Lincoln City did well and Arsenal played somebody on a plastic pitch, didn't they? Arsenal played what are they called? If anybody's commenting, please comment now. Who did Arsenal play on the rubber pitch? And they went, was it rubber pitch? I think so.
I don't know.
I think it was a rubber pitch. And they went there and Arsenal had to sit in like an old school Sunday league dressing room, freezing cold, no heating, and then they only had showers. And the Arsenal players turned up, played the game, got back on the coach because they'd rather shower at home. Who did they play in? But Lincoln City had that run before they came into the league, right?
Right, yeah, I'm the worst guy to ask for this, mate. I'm sorry.
That season in the FA Cup, there's 3 or 4 non-league clubs that went past around 3, right? Awesome. Everyone fell in love, hacking off of it. The season after, all the non-league clubs didn't even get past the second round. And then since then, it's happened every time. It's happened
Dynamo Kiev.
Oh, fuck off, Lewis, you little fucking prick. Fuck you. Fuck your face. Happy place. Happy place. Turf Moor.
Stamford Bridge.
I think it was Hereford. I don't think it was Hereford. I don't know. The gold boy that ate a pie. Wayne, whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah, now I'm with you. Oh, I was in hospital at that time.
Do you know what I mean? Their team went quite far, didn't they? Did they go 4th round, 5th round?
Yeah, I think it was 5th round, yeah. Because he weren't allowed to play one of the games, weren't he? Because he was involved in a betting scandal.
Not a betting scandal. With
the pie thing. Yeah. But there was a bet on it.
Mario Balotelli bet on him being sent off. Got sent off and won the winnings. Nobody said fuck all. Fucking old boy ate a pie on the side of the pitch. He's been sacked.
Yeah.
Love that.
Sutton.
Love it. Sutton. That's the one.
Yes, Lewis. It wasn't Sutton. No, I think it was though, mate.
I think
you were spot on with that. That sounds about right.
The love for the FA Cup died. Last couple of seasons, round 3, 4, well, 4 is Premier League clubs. Simple as that. 4 or 5. I think there's been a couple of exceptions. I think this year, I really do hope this year that one of the National League teams gets to play a Premier League team. I think, especially when it comes down to money, because people don't realise that I was having this argument, discussion with Paul earlier. He said it's unfair for the teams that are travelling away in the FA Vars and the FA Cup. And I said, but what you don't know is people like Falmouth Town, Melton Town have to pay, one, for the away team's coach, like a percentage of it, has to be allowed to pay for an overnight stay if it's needed, and for their food and everything like that. People don't know that happens. So when you had Arsenal playing at Sutton had to pay for Arsenal to get a coach to Sutton.
Lewis, mate, I did tell you before, I can't fit in your shoes, mate, so this is what you got to deal with. Hereford was 1992, but not on the National Turf.
Adam Morley, mate, this is the first time I spoke to you since anyway. I hope you had a brilliant birthday, mate, by the looks of your old Facebook. You had a few drinks. Good on you, mate. I should be up in Melton in January. I'll be meeting up with all the Armchair Pundit boys. We'll be going to watch a Melton game all together, unless Danny's in Greece. I'm
not going till January.
Right, okay, so I'm up at the start of January. Hopefully the tearing stops and we can all go and watch the Melton Town game together. If not, we're just going to have a social distance beer in the middle of a football pitch and kick a ball around. I'm
going to beat them all at Keep Uppies, actually.
Do you know what, mate? I'm telling you now, we'll hire a fucking sports hall because it's classed as training. We'll hire a sports hall and Danny's being on my fucking team. And watch Lewis get fucking 360 flip by Danny running him over.
I'll be honest, mate. I'm a bit of a goal hanger, innit? Not going to lie. I ain't played in years.
I just loved you to see you running Lewis over.
And for those that, obviously, those that are watching and wondering, how's Danny playing football? He's in a wheelchair. So what I used to do is crawl around like a little monkey. and hit it with my hands. I used to have to wear goalkeeper gloves because go on, Jack, keep it in, mate, keep it in, like a little monkey. It's exactly how I used to run around, and my feet used to do that as well.
We've got away from the point. FA Cup has the love fell out of it. It did.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that the BBC have put all these games on, so all the games that are non-league, and to be honest, BT have allowed them to do it because BT have the rights. BT have the rights for all the FA Cup games. BT could have said, nah, we want this one. And BT have gone, we'll show the Premier League and this, that, and the other. You show these FA Cup non-league teams. And I think that's making people, like I've sat there all day, egging on the underdog. All day. Love it. And the fact that Chorley got through, it's made my day. It really has. All I need to happen now is for us to beat Spurs tomorrow. And I'm happy with football for the weekend.
Mate, if you do that, and we win on Monday, happy days, because then Leicester go back top. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if we do that and you don't win on Monday, the team that's being told they're mediocre and aren't really showing anything special will be top of the league.
Yeah, Leicester.
Chelsea would be top of the league.
You just described Leicester, mediocre team that no one really expects. Do you know what I mean?
Shut up. You've not been mediocre since the season you won the league.
Thank you. It's nice to hear somebody say that, though.
And better and better. You have.
It's nice to hear someone say that.
You won your league, you will say that. You played good football, but it was a fluke. With the team you had, you should never have won the league, but you did because it was passion. Now, you've announced yourself. You're in Europe. You're playing one of the best teams I've seen play in Europe this season, by the way. And we've qualified early, but we had a shit Champions League group. But it's nice to say, do you know what? Fucking Leicester City, who've gone all the way down to League 1, League 2 football?
Yeah, League 1.
League 1. Have then come all the way back up, nearly got relegated, won the league with pretty much the same team, and they've now developed, not only as a football club, but they've developed their local area, and that's what Liverpool have done for Liverpool, and Everton have done for the Liverpool area, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs have done for London, United and City have done for Manchester. They've done it the way a big club does it. They've gone and spent the money they've won and the money they've got and put it back into the community and building a big feel of community around the club. And that for me makes Leicester City a big club. Because they're not just thinking about their players, they're thinking about...
It's nice to hear someone say that. Obviously, to add to that, obviously we move into our new training venue soon. I'm not
going to lie there. Liverpool have kept theirs quiet and have gone, right, what are they doing? Oh, they're doing that. Oh, they've got that, and that. Right, what we'll do is we'll just have 2 of everything they've got. Yeah. And I think that's generally what Liverpool have done. They've kept it quiet about them upgrading the training ground, and they've gone, what are Leicester doing? Oh, they've got 1 of them, 2 of them, 4 of them, and 6 of them.
We've got a lot of pitches. We've got a pitch for every single player.
To be honest, mate, your training ground is immense. But I will still stand to my fucking point, and Man City's is the best because they have a fucking, nearly 15,000 seater stadium. Literally, you've got a bit of like Wembley Way going from their academy pitch, their main academy pitch, up to the main ground. And for me, that is local football. They're a Premier League team, but they're keeping their youngsters close enough to be able to finish training and go and watch the game afterwards.
Yeah. No, that's good. I remember Ipswich used to do that, actually. I remember when we used to go down to Ipswich Town, they used to have their academy pitch right outside the ground. That was quite good. But I think Leicester's academy, they played near the...
Was it I think MK Dons? MK Dons used to do the same. And where MK Dons ground is, Leicester, Chelsea ladies play there. Literally, like, just over the road, I think it is. So over one road and then through another road is their whole academy set up.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I like. I like good training grounds. And to be honest, Man City, hands down, have the biggest capacity for their youth football. Like the capacity of their stadium. Leicester's new ground, scientifically, the stuff it's got there is probably one of the best grounds in the UK by far.
If it goes ahead.
It's gone ahead, isn't it? It's still being built.
Oh, you're on about the training ground or the stadium? I thought you were talking about the stadium then.
Stadium, mate.
I was going to say, let's just talk at the moment.
It's literally, they've modelled it on a mini Wembley, in my opinion. It looks like a mini Wembley.
I was thinking more. I was thinking more Brighton Stadium.
No, I don't like Brighton Stadium. But one of my favourite stadiums.
Oh, it's beautiful. You come over the hill, it's like it's a UFO on the ground. It's beautiful.
One of my favourite stadiums was the JCB when they first built that for Wigan.
JCB. The JJB.
JJB, sorry, yeah, JJB.
Yeah.
JCB, what the fuck?
Hey, I'll tell you one of my favourites actually, because obviously we've got a bit of time. Obviously we ran out of topics. There's a topic. Favourite grounds you've been to? Obviously the couple I'll probably say is Villa Park. Is one of my favourites. Turf Moor, Walsall, but definitely the Reebok Stadium, Bolton Wanderers.
I would say.
Elland Road actually. That is my favourite.
I would say Melton Town. I would say Steinwright Park. I would say Falmouth Town's ground, Bickland Park, because I like non-league football. That and the atmosphere that Melton fans and Falmouth fans both make is electric. Yeah. You won't get it anywhere else. I'd also say Elland Road is definitely a great ground.
Yeah.
What I've been to. It
was the first ever away game I ever went to. Leeds away.
Stokes ground is a shithole, but I loved going to it. If that makes sense.
I've never been.
It was a shithole.
I'm sure Rylan will tell you a story about the Stoke ground though. The day Leicester got relegated to League One.
Palace got a great ground, Selhurst Park. Love that ground. It obviously can't be my team's one. Prior the City ground, Forest. I feel like that's been built.
Yeah.
I used to go there with when I was best mates with Ollie Burke, and he was in the Nottingham Forest Academy when he was like 13, 14. They used 13, 14, 15, and used to get free tickets to games. I used to go with him and his mum and dad, and we'd go and watch a game.
Oh wow!
So that was nice.
I think I went to the City ground when Leicester played them in the Carling Cup.
Ground. I can't remember the name of it. I went to Inverness's ground when I went up to Scotland to bury my uncle. He was living in Nairn, just outside of Inverness. Well, I say outside, it's a bit of a travel. And we went to Inverness ground. And Scottish grounds were built the way grounds should be built, if that makes sense. They were built to last, not built to be redone every week, every couple of years.
Have you ever been outside? What's Celtic's ground called?
No, I haven't. No, I've never been there. Never been there.
I forgot the name of it now. It's gone off my tongue. But I remember driving through Glasgow once. I played a basketball match in Glasgow, and I remember seeing it from a distance. And the closer you get, it looks like a skyscraper. You know, imagine you're in London and you see those skyscrapers. That's how big it was looking up. And
that's the thing with Wembley, though. That's the thing with Wembley. If you're driving down into London and you're coming toward, you come in at Watford end, I believe.
It's like finding Blackpool Tower, isn't it?
I tell you what, you come in at Edgware Road. That's how you come in, and you look across and you just see Wembley sticking up. Millennium Stadium in Wales. That ground is top notch.
Beautiful.
Top-notch. Wembley. The new Wembley is great. I've been there about 6 times. It's great. I'm a bit upset that they kept it quiet. They were knocking down Wembley Way though, which has pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah,
very quiet. They just turned up with diggers. That slope, since the new Wembley was bought, was to bring back Wembley Way, because Wembley Way, the old Wembley.
That's what it was all about. Is the walk to Wembley.
And then now they've knocked the slope out and they've put steps in. And for me, they're putting steps in, but
it's a step backwards, is what it is.
That walk up that slope, and you split either side to go to either side of the ground, and you'd have the away fan zone on the left hand side, so whoever got chosen the away team, and then the home fan zone on the right hand side, and they'd have like blow up stages. Like I went when we played. Who did we play? I think we played Arsenal.
Here's an idea.
And Marvin Humes was a DJ in our fan zone, and he signed a flag for me. And I was working at the Jenny B. I finished the football, got in the car. My old man drove me back to Melton. I jumped behind the bar at the Jenny B with John Batty. I worked for John Batty, and then the next day we raffled off. I think it was for Lewis's charity. Actually, it was a Chelsea flag signed by Marvin Humes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go then. I forgot what I was saying just before that.
Oh my god, I forgot I didn't put lemonade in it.
There you go, Jack's killing himself. I ain't got no more Dr. Pepper left. I'm gonna have to go sort that out. Right, yeah, that's I think we're gonna cut it there, Jack. Yeah, Jack. So this has been the late night show. Probably the biggest one without. Well, no, how do I say that? The only late night show with less swearing.
The only late night show without Lewis Barnard, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
I don't think there's ever been one without him.
Yes, and it's been an honour to fill in your shoes today, mate.
It has. We've had some good viewers. We're up to 10 at one point, but to be honest, let's be honest, Danny.
We're never gonna come. No, we know the drill.
People come for Lewis.
We know the drill.
We can't wait for Lewis to be back because I'll tell you what, that guy has got so much fucking knowledge. He's storing it. You know,
yes,
when he's first,
you guys ain't ready.
His first show back, I'm telling you now, that show's going to be at least 2 hours. I'm telling you, point blank now, it's going to be 2 hours.
Right, but yeah, hopefully, I look forward to that show. But yeah, Lewis, thank you for letting me take over your show for the night. I'm gonna give it back to you, and yeah, I've been Mr. Wheels.
Danny, mate, to be honest, it's been a pleasure. You had some right good questions, and I've got a bit too passionate on some of them, but
it's all right, mate. That's helps me though because I bounce off people. Do you know what I mean? And I like to listen. But yeah, I've been Mr. Wheels. Yeah, I did it right. That's been Jack. Mr. Grassroots.
I'm back, by the way. I'm back with my own show next Saturday. Don't miss it. We've got some great shows coming up this week as well. Ryland's catch-up show, all this kind of stuff. We've got loads of stuff planned this week. You've all been spoiled. Next Saturday, it's back to Grassroots for Mr. Grassroots.
Hey.
We've got Falmouth Town at home for FA Vars game. I'm going to do pre-interviews with fans, managers, and hopefully players as well. I probably won't do so much of the live of the game because I've been pre-warned by a certain member that works for the FA that said if I'm caught recording the full match without their permission, I might get told off. But I'll still do the before and after and the drinks afterwards as well because Mr. Grassroots can drink for this game and I'm looking forward to it.
Very well done though, mate, for all the money you donated as well to Macmillan.
Yeah. We got at the end. Danny donated. His Mrs. Betham donated.
Yep.
Loads of people donated. Loads of people from Falmouth Town donated. People from my work donated. I set a target of 200. I only made not 195, but that 195 pays for a support worker dealing with families that have got a member dealing with cancer. That pays their wages for 5 days, which is all I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to give something back. There is a big one coming up. I've got to talk to the rest of the admins. If I'm going to give you a clue, so it's going to be raising money. It's going to be something to do with this
head
and something to do with
yes. Okay, I did one a few years ago. Nice.
I've got to get all the admins. I'm not doing it unless every single admin agrees to it.
I've gone bold already, and so I can't say no again, can I? Why not? I've already done it. I look like the picture on my passport, then, wouldn't I? Thank you, Ryland.
You look like Jason Statham.
I got told I look like Bronson without the mustache. I was like, no chance, no, mate.
Right.
But yeah, guys. Thank you, guys. You take care. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and if you don't already, please subscribe. Take care, guys.